am a public administrator.
How much do you make?
$242,000 a year.
Can you describe what you do in one sentence?
I oversee homeless programs for a very large nonprofit in the city of Los Angeles.
That's a big role. And what's your biggest struggle in that job?
Not enough housing, not enough housing, not enough housing.
All right, today we're going to expose this entire grift. First, I dug around a little bit, and the nonprofit that she worked for is called LA Family Housing. And according to their IRS Form 990, they received $65 million in government grants last year. And you know how she talked about housing being so important? Well, this is what they're talking about. LA Family Housing is transforming a 1950s motel into apartments for supportive housing. But then you look at the price tag, $60 million for 41 apartments. $60 million. LA has a homeless population of over 75,000, and that's how they think $60 million of taxpayer money should be spent? That's either incompetence or gross negligence, and I'm thinking the latter. Because here's what I think the scheme is with all these affordable housing units that are popping up all over Los Angeles. It's a complete bait and switch scam. Because here's what's going on. The construction of affordable housing developments is subsidized by public funds. In exchange, rents are regulated by covenants, but these covenants carry an expiration date. And once a covenant expires, a building's owner is not required to pay back any public funds. Rather, he is freed from all regulations which kept rents down, able to extract and hoard all future profits. And in the city of Los Angeles alone, there is an estimated 11,000 affordable housing units, which will convert to market rate within the next 5 years. So these massive public housing projects are nothing but a huge money laundering scheme between these real estate developers and these nonprofit administrators who are making monster salaries, and also politicians who I assume are getting kickbacks, allegedly. I mean, how else would you explain this insane statistic that LA is spending $837,000 to house a single homeless person? So I give these people two options. Either A, actually end homelessness, or B, we should demand to defund this whole boondoggle. Okay, I have to do a follow-up on this lady who makes $250,000 a year combating homelessness, because this story is so much more juicy and corrupt than I had even realized. Let's get into it. Okay, so remember when I said she worked for a nonprofit called LA Family Housing? Well, it turns out she was actually fired from LA Family Housing, according to this lawsuit. Allegedly, she was getting in a little bit of hot water with her boss for starting a consulting business on the side. I checked on LinkedIn, and it looks like she's not running one consulting business. She's actually running two consulting businesses that have to do with housing. Now, of course, she's disputing that's why she was fired. She's claiming that these are the real reasons why she was fired from LA Family Housing. You can pause to read, and this is why she's filing a lawsuit now. Obviously, I'm not privy to exactly what went down, but you can search this lawsuit and read all the details and decide for yourself. But regardless, I wouldn't lose too much sleep worrying about her, because she's now failed upward and is the new chief executive strategist for the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority. That's right, she is now an official government employee. There she is. Funny enough, the face of this new article from the LA Times reporting that a county audit has found lax accounting at the LA Homeless Services Authority. And just for context, the LAHSA annual budget stands at $875 million, about $348 million comes from the county's coffers. It is a massive government agency. And here's what the audit found. Quote, LAHSA, a city-county joint powers agency, failed to establish formal agreements on how and when advances should be repaid, did not always maintain records for capital advances, and could not provide an accurate list of all the contracts and their execution dates. They've apparently also failed to reclaim millions of dollars in cash advances to contractors. And you guys ready for this next part? Remember these consulting businesses that she runs. Well, LAHSA's newly hired chief executive strategist, okay, her, that's who we've been talking about. She, according to state business filings, owns a consulting business, which we knew about, but what we didn't know about is that she owns the consulting business with the leader of one of LAHSA's largest contractors. Come on. This number is starting to make a whole lot of sense now. Why we have to spend $837,000 to house a single homeless person. It's because developers, contractors, nonprofits, and city administrators like her are all in cahoots with one another. I mean, if we just look statewide, $24 billion have been spent on homelessness, with homelessness going up. California, according to the latest statistics, has about 180,000 people who are experiencing homelessness. If we just took the $24 billion and gave it to each homeless person, they would be getting $130,000 each. I'm not saying that I would propose this or if this would be my preferred option, but it is starting to sound like this would be a hell of a lot better idea than what we're doing right now, which I think is just people embezzling hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars each year. Allegedly.